We all know about the ancient world wonder in Rome known as the Coliseum. It's what many point to as the modern world's first big stadium. But did you know there is a shockingly preserved limestone arena in Croatia that predates the Coliseum by a full 12 years, and that is still being used for events to this very day? Why was it built here? What was it used for? What did it look like in its glory days? And what secrets is it hiding? And why is much of the inside missing? Why and when was it built? The Pula Arena sits in a tiny enclave near the Adriatic Sea, fittingly in the town of Pula, Croatia. Why here in a completely separate country? Well, if you look at a map, Croatia isn't far from Italy at all. In fact, Venice is directly across the sea from Pula. As the Roman Empire expanded, Pula became a trade center and a port for the exchange of goods. Built in 68 AD, the Pula Arena predates the Coliseum by a full 12 years. However, its architecture is strikingly similar, but on a slightly smaller scale. While the Coliseum could hold up to 80,000 spectators, the Pula Arena was about 1/4 the capacity at 20,000. The Pula Arena was originally constructed out of wood and then subsequently rebuilt using limestone. It's 434 feet long and 344 feet across with a height of 106 feet. That's pretty freaking big. Its renovation was completed in the time of Emperor Vespasian and then subsequently overseen by Titus. What was it used for? The arena was part of the gladiator circuit and was the scene of the Ludi, public games for the Roman people. Side note, according to many historians, not many gladiators actually died in the arena. Well, probably not the popular ones, but depictions like in the movie Gladiator are largely fictionalized for our enjoyment. Unless, of course, you were a convicted criminal. Then, yeah, that was tough shit, bro.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What did it look like in its heyday? The Pula Arena had two Meniani, or better known today as mezzanine, which were 40 rows of seating divided between the two tiers. Despite most of only the outer shell being left now, it's easy to imagine this mini Coliseum as an amazing feat of engineering for the time. The arena has 15 gates, 72 arches, and 64 rectangular openings around the top, presumably for airflow and light. The playing surface measured 229 feet by 136 feet, so about the size of 2 basketball courts. I would imagine it would have looked similar to the Coliseum, and surprisingly a lot like the concrete era stadiums from back in the 70s. Probably better. When did it fall into disrepair and abandonment? The Pula Arena was still active for gladiatorial games and combat all the way till the 5th century, meaning the Romans used it for close to 400 years until Honorius banned the games. Honorius. That doesn't explain exactly why the tiered seating is gone, but that also isn't a mystery. By the 5th century, the locals began plundering the valuable stone to be used for other buildings. The same fate of the Coliseum in Rome. Since limestone was scarce and quarrying it all the way to a city was labor intensive, stealing it from the abandoned Pula Arena was much easier. Finally, in the 13th century, an order forbade the plundering of the stone. In the Middle Ages, the once vibrant playing area for the games was used for grazing, and it was proposed that the arena be moved to Venice in 1583, but that was rejected. What remains today is one of the best preserved Roman arenas from the era, and it's one of the few surviving Colosseums to retain its outer circuit walls. It must be truly breathtaking to see now. What is it used for today? The Pula Arena was first restored in 1816, and in 1932 it was converted into a theater for use in plays, military ceremonies, and public meetings. It's remained pretty much unchanged since then, and has a modest seating capacity of between 7,000 and 12,500. It's still active as a concert venue, and acts ranging from Pavarotti to the Foo Fighters have all played the Pula Arena. It was also a setting in the film Titus. So what secrets is the arena hiding? Well, the tunnels used to house the gladiators are still there, and they actually still do gladiator reenactments on the site. Well, minus the killing. Though, I mean, I'd probably still buy a ticket if they went old school. I'm kidding. I'm not really. No. I'd buy a ticket. You would too. Another interesting feature the arena had was a water reservoir at the top of the stadium that was used to gather rainwater and then spritz it onto the spectators below as a cooling mechanism. That's actually pretty cool, pun intended. What I was surprised to learn was the level of sophistication from the Roman Empire on game day. The area beneath the stands were filled with stores and restaurants. The games would be a bustling and highly social event. They also made wine on site, and the remnants of that process are still at the arena. I wonder if they had like a wine sales cutoff, you know, like third kill of the day or something is when they shut off the wine sales. In the 16th century, the arena was used for jousting, and if you believe in ghosts, I'm sure there's plenty of souls who lost their lives inside these ancient walls. So there you have it, the best kept secret of ancient history. The Pula Arena lives on in a beautiful coastal town in Croatia, far from the echoes of a time past.